Welcome to the Media Cat Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Mike Pigger, editor at the magazine. And for today's pod, I'd like to welcome Eric Tan, head of music, China and APAC partnerships at Riot Games. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Mike, and pleasure to be here.
Thanks for doing this. We had some technical problems before, which I hold my hands up and say I'm very sorry for, and praying to the podcast gods that everything goes fine this time. But hopefully we can have a good little chat. First off, I wanted to ask you, what do Riot Games do, for those that don't know, and what's your role there?
Sure. So Riot Games is a developer and publisher of some of the key franchises that you may have heard of, such as League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, Valorant, Wild Rift, and more. We are also known for our esports tournaments and also our Emmy Award-winning Netflix series Arcane, and our music business, which includes our virtual artists such as platinum selling group KDA, True Damage, Seraphine, et al. And my role as head of music China and APAC partnerships is to basically provide support to our global music supervision and strategic product teams, and help to oversee campaigns from our roster of virtual artists that include, like what I mentioned just now, KDA, True Damage, Pentakill, DJ Sona, Seraphine, as well as our other music releases onto our DSPs, the digital service providers.
And I suppose I wanted to ask, like, with your role, you've been there about a year now, right? As I understand it. Would you say, is your role quite unique to the gaming industry, or is it quite a new role, or are there sort of lots of sort of heads of music? Do you guys kind of keep tabs on each other, or I don't know how it works in gaming, because music and gaming is goes hand in hand these days,
Sure. Well, to the first question, how it's been since I've been here for almost a year. It's been great, Mike. In short, Riot's got a very strong collaborative culture, with really good psychological safety, and is very committed to putting our players first. We had a great year last year, where we had collaborations with the likes of Lil Nas X and Jackson Wang, who both perform at the World Championships, and we're looking to do more. So stay tuned to find out what do we have in store next. As to the kind of intersection between music and gaming, I think you can argue it's both nascent, but it's been there also for a while. I think gaming companies have always had music supervision functions, but I think it's only in the recent years where we really see the convergence of the two, with the likes of music, Travis Scott on Fortnite, or Lil Nas X on Roblox, and we're really, really proud of what the team here has done with our own virtual artists. So lots of room to grow and lots of room to collaborate still.
Yeah, you guys have been doing amazing stuff. I wanted to ask you, actually, sort of on a wider note, what's your sort of impression of the gaming industry since the pandemic began? And I know you've only been there a year, but so you actually, technically, I guess you joined in the middle of the pandemic. But lots of people were gaming more at home when things went into lockdown, etc. And I just wondered if that's leveled off much, or actually it's just continuing to get bigger and bigger.
We actually take a very optimistic view that it is getting bigger and bigger. I think the pandemic only accelerates that, especially in the markets of Asia, where mobile penetration is far greater to that compared to the North American markets, and we're very, very excited to be also investing in this space. Recently we've seen the promotion of Leo Lin, our head of China, as president, into president of China and mobile growth, and also Frank Zhu as our new chief operating officer to accelerate that growth. So we can't wait to share what we're doing in this space. But we are definitely looking at this space closely, in both sort of post-pandemic and from a mobile growth perspective.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, things have been around a long time, but also things seem to move incredibly fast without us realizing it. Like, people are just really good to adjusting to a new way of gaming, or new ways to consume entertainment. It's even though it's still kind of pandemic times, it's kind of quite an exciting time. I wanted to kind of take a step back for a sec, like looking at your history is quite interesting. You were born in Hong Kong, raised in the UK and US. You studied at Cardiff University, interestingly, and then went on to Stanford. I wondered, did this sort of varied education kind of set you up well for your career? And as sort of a follow-up to that, really, did you always want to work in music in some way, or did you just fall into it?
Thanks for asking, Mike. Yeah, it's funny because I think being a third culture kid, it's one of those things where I no longer who I root for in the Olympics. Do you root for Great Britain? Do you root for US, or do you root for China? But no, I think I'm very, very grateful for for this background. Yes, at a very, very early age, I knew I wanted to be in music, but I think it took me a while. I wasn't sure that I wanted to be in the front lines, i.e. being a performer, or wanting to be an executive. And being born to Asian parents, it was very, very quick for them to shut down my music dreams and to have me focus more on the business side of things. So as a compromise, I decided to go to the music business, with my first gig with Warner Music, UK, and then Universal Music, regional office in Asia Pacific. And then took a little bit of detour from 2010 to 2014 to spread my wings a little bit, Mike. And it was at that time that I joined EA in China, which then led to Gameloft in China, and I was able to, I got involved in very exciting launches of the gaming titles in China, such as The Sims, Need for Speed, and then my calling card was really Despicable Me, Minion Rush, where through lots of culturalizations, where the game, we sort of broke records with the download numbers in China, where we'd over-index to that of the global numbers. So super proud of my time, and then yes, I guess I would really categorize myself as a hybrid, a hybrid of a record label executive, but also have a bolt-on mobile game publishing DNA. And it's been a dream come true to come to Riot, because it is sort of the merging of the two worlds, right?
Yeah. I sometimes think that's one of the most exciting places to be when you're in a kind of a fusion role a little bit. You're getting, like you say, you're getting perhaps two passions involved. Speaking of who to support, like I reckon go for the underdog. So if you went to Cardiff University, then just support Wales all the time. that would be my bet. Yeah, always go for the underdog. Yeah. Otherwise, you just basically got two global superpowers to support, and then I don't know.
Sort of reminds me. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, Mike, but like when Greg Rusedski, the tennis player, is actually holds a British passport. What is it? I think there was a joke like, if he wins, he's British. If he loses, he's Canadian.
Yes, there's a lot of that goes on with unfortunately with kind of British culture. I think of disowning people as soon as they're losing or something. We'll claim them if they're winning. Yeah, it's not good. I don't like it. But so I guess one of the other things when my colleague first connected us to chat about podcasts and things, I thought, hold on, Riot Games, they do League of Legends, so that actually means they made the TV show Arcane. I haven't played League of Legends actually, but I did, I did, like a lot of people, probably just try out Arcane going, oh, what's this? And just being blown away by it. It was amazing. And I just wondered how significant has been that move into animation been for the company? I assume it's brought you a whole new wave of fans like myself, perhaps new gamers as well.
Sure. Arcane was really 6 years in the making by our executive producers, Christian Link and Alex Yee, and we couldn't be any happier of the outcome, because, like you said, we were able to expand beyond our games to other IP formats, which in return delights our players even further. And then because of this momentum and support, we are now in production for season 2, and I wish I could tell you more, but I couldn't reveal any spoilers, and but all I can say is alongside season 2, there will be a lot of high quality music. So I can't wait to share that with you in due course.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, definitely on my to watch list. Arcane season 2. I really love the whole aesthetic, but more importantly, I guess you guys really zoned in and focused on characters and kind of told a really compelling story. So that it was amazing. I was reading actually as well that Riot's invested more in the animation studio behind the show. So I'm assuming you've got plans for more animation, whether it's Arcane or other stuff. And I'm also assuming you can't really tell me, but I just that sounds exciting if that's what you're going to do.
Short answer is yes. We're working on a slate of both live action and animated TV shows and films, and we're looking forward to bring more stories to our fans. And that's all I can say. I'm afraid.
Yes, you get in trouble otherwise. That's fine. I suppose one of the things, like from a sort of creative vision point of view, I realized that your Riot's first music video, Get Jinxed, was 9 years ago. And the character of Jinx seemed to arrive fully formed there, as in what we saw in Arcane was what was in that video 9 years ago. And I'm guessing as Jinx served as a blueprint for Arcane. And as you mentioned, it took 6 years to get the first season created. And you've been at the company for a year. I just wondered how that sort of vision and plan of where the company's going feels to you. It must be quite clear and strong, given me trying to read between the lines there. Was that the case when you came into the role?
Yes. So just starting, I guess, in terms of Jinx, again, Christian Link, our co-creator and the executive producer of Arcane, was really the creative forces behind the Get Jinxed music video. And from there, our fans were immediately attracted to the character. And at the time, and right there and then, we knew that there are opportunities to expand her story, right? Including her relationship with Vi. But at the end of it, we're really excited to continue our world building through our various entertainment formats, including new projects, new music releases, while we continue to focus on developing the games that our fans know and love. So it is a balancing act, but we're all really passionate, about playing a role in this balancing act.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wanted to sort of go a bit more into music, obviously with your role, but how the ways that Riot is evolving as a company, how does that sort of fit into what you do? And for example, I was on the League of Legends YouTube channel, which has 15 million subscribers, listening to Milio, the Gentle Flame, which is a gorgeous piece of music. I know when we talked off camera a bit before, but saying about because I was going to ask you if you were involved in that, but I think you said it was before your time. But I guess I have a sort of a tack-on question to that of when you encounter these things, do you get sort of professional envy, going, oh, I really wish I was involved in that project or that music, or you see a launch or something done within music and gaming, you think, damn, I wish I'd got involved in that, or I wish I'd been part of that. Do you ever get that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think as creatives, we love producing, we love creating, right? And then I think by default we love growing our portfolio. So of course, personally, I wish I would have been there to be involved in it, but I wasn't. In the case of Millie and the Gentle Flame, that was actually created by the talented folks at our League Studio team. I'm actually on the Riot Games music team. We're sort of like a label, where we focus on building artist partnerships, virtual artists, and music related events. But we do frequently collaborate with the League Studio team, who are more responsible in making the music and music scores for the game. And then we sort of supercharge that, with we kind of more commercialize music and commercialize artist partnerships in a way that will serve the fandom and expand the fandom from there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose sort of following on from that, I was another thing I was doing the other day was I was on TikTok and I stumbled on a sort of a music composer student, or they're sort of studying kind of music composition, etc. Not necessarily to do with gaming, but they were watching a lot of or listening to a lot of like gaming tracks. One of them was the Doom Eternal soundtrack. I don't know if you've heard it, but if not, I'll send you a link afterwards. I think it was composed by Mick Gordon, but it's kind of metal and rock, and it's and sort of almost dancey and sort of driving craziness, and it's kind of amazing. I just wondered, like, when you hear things like that, or when you're looking at stuff, does it inspire you and go, actually, this puts me in mind of a musician I want to work with, or, I suppose thinking of music and gaming, do you ever get that where you're sort of like, actually, there's somebody really unexpected that would be really cool to work with, that you don't really think of when you think of perhaps music and gaming?
So I think there's a couple parts of this, in terms of sort of like the scoring and maybe the kind of classical aspect of it. We don't have any plans right now at the moment, but we always like receiving new ideas from fans, and then from there to help us produce that next immersive experience. But I think that the crossover idea is interesting, because I think if you look at all the things we've done, such as with KDA with K-pop, True Damage with hip hop, and then and then Pentakill, which is our answer to metal. We do want to serve, we want to be able to serve all genres, and we do want to serve our fans, essentially building out that music universe. And but again, it's one of those things where I can't really tell you more beyond that. But there is there is a desire to build out the music universe Marvel style. So that's all I can say.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. Connecting. You want that sort of so there's Samuel Jackson's character, whose name I'm completely blanking on, and I will have to hand in my credentials as a Marvel fan. But the sort of person that connects all of those things together, Marvel Universe style. I don't know who that would be, or whether that's a particular type of musician, or something. I don't know.
That's very interesting, right? Like maybe have that kind of Mandalorian kind of character, right? That kind of connects it all.
Oh yeah, so it's essentially a Western, right? Man walks into town. I know we haven't got too much time left, so I'll sort of I do have more questions I want to ask you, so I'll zoom through them. But one of the things I wanted to ask was, do you, Riot, have any plans, or do you have any plans to kind of get involved in more kind of live music stuff? By this I mean, I recently attended a orchestral performance of the Royal Festival Hall in London, where they did pieces from like Lord of the Rings and Pirates of the Caribbean. I was wondering, are there any plans for any sort of, I don't know, League of Legends shows? Hearing something like Milio the Gentle Flame performed by an orchestra would be, pretty amazing, I think.
I think there's, events is quite broad, right? I think you can interpret anything from a concert to immersive experience as a live entertainment, under the bucket of live entertainment, right? So I will kind of answer that, from that context. So in terms of, orchestral shows, the short answer is none at the moment, right? But we're always, looking to ways to grow our fandom. That said, at the live event side of things, we recently hired Ashley Wagner, our senior director in live events and entertainment, to help us, grow this business further. And we're really excited to continue to bring, immersive experience to fans. And Ashley's she's an industry veteran, previously worked on Warner Brothers Discovery, and we're excited to continue to bring, immersive experience to fans, under her leadership, alongside our global head of music and events, Marie Egan.
I mean, that sounds like an exciting appointment then. More orchestral stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I was reading a lot of things about, with the pandemic, a lot of people are valuing that kind of live shared experience more than ever. Ways to connect, etc. I don't know. It could be exciting, but I'm just throwing random business ideas at you, basically. Cool. Well, actually, speaking of that, I suppose another thing I stumbled on recently was Secret Cinema. They had a winter event in LA, which was Arcane themed, which looked amazing. I just wonder, again, more plans for Arcane themed events. Bring them to London, perhaps.
Stay tuned.
Fair enough. It's like I've seen your entire business plan, and I'm just throwing guesses at you and go, "How about this? How about this?" I know.
I guess. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, to your point, it's almost as if you don't even need to try hard to connect the dots. Like with the momentum that we had with season 1 and now about to do season 2. The possibilities are endless, and with the culture of Riot, we owe it to ourselves to continue to provide these immersive experience, that our fans want. So we're working on it.
I believe you. It sounds exciting. I'm excited about where it's going to go. Speaking of excitement, I wondered what kind of, obviously you probably can't say too much with Riot, but what kind of excites you about the world of kind of gaming and music this year? Is there anything that you sort of got your eye on, or big launches or stuff coming up where you're like, oh, that'd be really cool to see?
Big launches this year, can't really say much, but we want to grow our music universe. And then, we also have plans to provide more kind of immersive experience and formats in a way to delight our fans. So I wish I could tell you more, but all shall be revealed around our once a year World Championships. I think we'll showcase some surprise there. And then, of course, the other one, oh gosh, we haven't even mentioned this, is Valorant. The Valorant franchise, which is our other key title. And this game will launch in China finally, because we've got the government license this coming summer. And then, so I think this game is going to be, hopefully will be even more successful than it already is. So those are just a few things in our pocket.
Yeah, quite a lot, I imagine. Probably you're probably giving like a tiny little slither of what you guys are up to. So it sounds like a lot going on. I know we have to wrap up in a sec, so I have a final question for you. It's kind of a silly one, but I really want to ask it. Have you seen the Apple TV show Mythic Quest? And is that what it's like working for a gaming company? Because I'm kind of, like in Mythic Quest, I don't know if you've seen it, but, a creative director with increasingly wacky ideas running around with a sword and an axe. Is that what it's like at Riot? I'm really hoping it is.
I wish, we would have that high level sense of humor. But I would say that Mythic Quest is probably a caricature version of what it's like to work at Riot. But look, I think, again, Riot is a great company, and it, with great collaboration, and we're really focused on providing the best experience for our fans and gamers. And at the end of the day, we all share the same values, and we can't wait, to continue to share, our work with all of our fans and gamers. And if I may say so, our best work is yet to come. So really excited.
I believe you, and I'm excited as well. I'm looking forward to any and all Arcane stuff I can get hold of. But yes, yes, and also I'm going to check out more of the music, because I really love that Milio, the Gentle Flame. That was a gorgeous piece of music, and we'll put a link in the show notes to that. But yeah, for now,
don't just forget that we also have Valorant soundtrack, and then there's KDA, True Damage, Seraphine. So
okay, you're gonna have to send me a few links.
Please leave all of those under your playlist.
Yeah, send me a few links. We'll put them in the show notes, and we'll stick them in bits and bobs on the magazine website as well. But yes, wonderful conversation, and I just want to say thanks, Eric, so much for coming on the Media Cat Magazine podcast.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye.